Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to another episode of Doyin's Corner. On today's episode, we actually have one of my favorite Big Brother players of all time. I'm not even joking, like, I'm not kidding. If you know me while the season was on, you would know that I was seriously rooting for her. She's the winner of the bbtitans first season that just got completed. And of course, we all know her name. Her name is Khosi Twala. Thank you so much, Miss, for coming.
Thank you for the invite.
Oh, you're welcome, baby. You're welcome. Oh my
Such a
God.
nice place we have.
Thank
Corner.
you.
Just
Thank
chilling.
you.
Dorina's corner. It sounds so harmless.
So harmless.
Like, what's the worst could happen?
Thank you so much, baby. Thank you. And you look so nice. I'm telling you, those cameras, I don't know what's wrong with them. You look so nice. The body, the outfits, the face, everything. I'm just like, what? My mind is like blown.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Okay, so we're going to move to the interview straight, right? What would you say are the three best words that describe your Big Titans experience?
Yeah.
3 words.
3 words. I think one would be I think uplifting and grounding. Because sometimes you really think, you know what, anything thrown at me, I can do it. Like, I'm ready. Right. But then life will take a really sharp turn, unexpected turn. Yeah, and then the third word would be unexpected. Because honestly, as much as it was part of the game, I didn't think I was going to win.
Oh, really?
No.
I was actually going to ask you that question next. Did you think you were going to win?
Oh, hell no.
Really?
Oh, no. I didn't think I was going to win.
I'm not going to lie to you.
Yeah.
From like when they announced the housemates, from the beginning, I was like, this girl really has potential. So I'm surprised that you didn't know.
I didn't even think I was going to make it to the house. You know how stressed I was during the process, especially the last few weeks before the show started. Because then now things are just like, okay, we've selected you, but it's not guaranteed yet.
Right.
Until you see us on
never
the
guaranteed
stage.
until you're on that stage.
Yeah, I was even shocked that I was the first person they put. I was like, what? What the hell?
But were you happy you were the first person?
No, I wanted to be like in the middle or third, or you know what I mean. I didn't want to be the first. I actually remember telling someone that, oh God, I hope I'm not the first person.
Really?
Yeah, no, because that's just a lot of pressure.
I think it actually really helps being the first person they introduce.
Yeah,
I think it helps.
In hindsight, I think I agree. You know, they put a lot of pressure on you, like, okay, let's see. The first person, the first season, you gotta go in there, give us energy. I was done waiting.
Right. So you just wanted to like go.
I wanted to do it. Like, I've been waiting.
You looked very prepared. Like when they announced you, you didn't look nervous. You just looked very like I'm ready. I'm ready. Like when they called your name on the stage.
Yeah, no, honestly, you know how it is. So, you know,
yeah,
I was being cooked, you know, like for a couple of weeks.
Right.
And really just isolated from the world to prepare us for the house. So I feel like that's like really smart of them to do. Because when you, on the day, I think you're more excited to see people.
Right, because you've not really been seeing people. Right.
So you're just like,
I think we all have different. I wasn't excited. I was very nervous.
Really?
Very. I'm telling you, I was like shaking. I'm like, oh my God, am I sure I want to do this?
No,
I was so scared.
I was like, let's go.
Oh, really?
The only thing was just that when everyone, I think like, as they're saying, like, are you ready for Big Brother Titans? Okay, we have our first, you know, and then at least 4 people came to me like, okay, listen here, you're the first person, give us energy, give us a smile, give us, you know, and then they would go another one. Okay, the first one going up, are you ready? Please, we need some energy.
Oh, the pressure.
I was like, okay, I said to them, Bexy was like, can you all please stop talking because now you're making me nervous.
Right, yeah.
You see what I mean? They're like, okay, no, nothing to worry about. We just want you to know that, okay, just have fun, relax. There's a crowd out there. Don't let, you know. Right. But like, I wasn't nervous. I was ready.
Great, great,
Mm.
great. Okay, so now getting into the house,
Mhm.
and you had seen all the housemates, right? I'm talking about like even after the second batch came in,
Mhm.
right? Was there anybody that you thought, this might be my biggest competition in this house? Who
On
was
the
that person?
first day, or
Not
like
on
the
the first.
week.
After I think Miracle and the rest of them came like later on, right? Some
Yes,
days after.
yes, yes.
So after everybody came, was there anybody in particular that you looked at and you were like, okay, I think this might be my biggest competition in the house?
I'm gonna be honest with you. You know, my journey in the house, I was very much focused on myself because that's the only thing I could control. Like that's the only thing you can control.
Right.
So I just had a strategy like each week, this is what I need to change, this is what I need to do better. So each Sunday when I go to sleep, I'm like, okay, next week is a new week. What do we have? Like you gotta bring something to the table.
So you were so focused on
I
your
was
own
focused
game
on
that you
myself.
weren't looking.
But there were people obviously we were like, okay, she has a good chance. Like um I honestly thought Olivia had a good chance.
Oh.
Yeah. My thing with the game, I wasn't really aiming to win. Or I was just aiming to make a statement.
Right.
You know what I mean?
No, you definitely made one. You did. You did, and I love it.
Oh my god. So but Kanaga as well, at some point in the game was like, golly, he's dangerous. He might have this. I was like, he has this. Because I was like, he's really strategic. You know what I mean? And I've always said that. But I've never seen him as, okay, well, I just knew he was strategic, but not like my place or competition because, like I said, I wasn't aiming to win. I just wanted to be, because you know, even though I'm the winner, there's probably for other people, someone else, a person who stood out more than I did.
Right.
So that was my whole point, just to gravitate towards my tribe.
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Okay, so coming out of the house now, what do you feel like is the biggest misconception about you? I'm sure you've heard a lot of like things, this is this, because is there anything that you've heard and you're like, oh, this really hurts because this is not really who I am?
I think that like they asked me this question and I said the thing about looks, you know, because I mean obviously they do it, a lot of people saying, oh, she's ugly and stuff. That never really bothered me because
I'm glad
that's not what I see in the mirror. Because at the end of the
Thank
day,
you.
that's not what I see in the mirror.
Thank you.
But I think this thing about they're really trying to paint a picture that I'm just all about boys and stuff, and it's like, girl, you know damn well I am more than that.
Right.
You know?
Right.
But I mean, I feel like some people always look for your weak point. And I personally don't think I have a lot of those. I'm just real. You just, because any real person or authentic person, there's always going to be something that you would want to use as their weakness.
Right.
I'm not perfect, but honestly, I'm not the worst as well. So whatever department where I look a little bit, I think people then hit hard on that. But man, at the end of the day, the people that matter know the real story.
Right. I'm happy that you are very like confident and you know who you are, because that's very important. Because I mean, coming out of the house and seeing a lot of like terrible things being said about you.
Yeah.
If you're not very like confident in who you are, it's very easy for you to like start thinking those things about yourself. Because I remember when I was also in the house, I also had the same experience. Like people saying, oh, a lot of stupid things I don't even want to repeat. Do you understand? But like coming out, I was just like, I know who I am, and I'm not going to let this work.
See, exactly. That's what I always say. That man, that's why I don't think I'll ever be depressed or have anxiety or feel pressure from Big Brother fans. You know what I mean? Especially the trollers. No,
it doesn't get to you at all,
girl. I got bigger fish to fry. The thing is, it's not just me. I've always told myself that it's not just you. It's not that the whole world's against you. No.
It's like that for
every
everybody.
other person faces struggle. It's just about how you then handle it. It's not that they just are taking me personally. No. I'm sure every other person in my set also have their own struggles. We just have different struggles.
100%. Yeah. 100%. That's very true. So do you feel like there's anything that you did in the house that you're like, oh, I wish I didn't do this? I wish I didn't act like this. I wish I didn't say this. Just something you regret.
You know, not really. Maybe when I came out of the house, a few things I'm like, okay, maybe I shouldn't have. But um, I feel like if I had changed anything or changed any of my acts or being as a whole, I wouldn't be where I am, which was at the top. So,
Ooh, okay.
I mean, of the game.
Okay, at the top.
I mean, top of the game.
Girl.
Top of the game. I wouldn't have won.
Right. You're at the top. That's just fact. That's just fact.
So I wouldn't have won. So it's just one of those things that one thing needed to happen for the other to come to life, right? So it's just one of those things. I really don't have a lot of regrets going to the Big Brother house or anything I said or did. At the end of the day, I think that's another thing that makes me not regret. I was honestly myself, like 100%. So if I didn't regret it, that means maybe I'm regretting the fact that I'm a human being and I need to grow. Because there's no way you're going to be perfect. There's certain things that you need to discover with yourself and you need to change.
Exactly. And that's what helps you do better. Right.
Yeah.
When you figure out what you're not doing very good at.
Yeah.
Then you try to do better.
Yeah. Right. So there were those moments where I'm just like, okay, let's see. You need to work on this. Yeah.
This is great.
I looked at
really
it that
great.
way. Yeah.
Okay, so at the time you were in the house, right? You were saying, "Oh, I have a boyfriend.
Yes.
Right? I don't really want to go into that. I just want to really find out, was it really a boyfriend in the picture? Were you just saying that to be dramatic?
There was a real boyfriend.
Really? And
he was there.
And you were not thinking, because I mean, you played your game.
I was. What do you mean I was not thinking?
You played your game. So honestly, were you thinking about him at any point? Like, how is he gonna feel about this? Or was there a conversation had before?
No.
None.
I honestly thought I was gonna stay away from boys.
Girl, trust me, I can relate. I really can relate.
So we were both laughing
because girl, you're like, you know what? I'm not gonna do this, and then you're there like, I did it.
And it happened day one.
Oh my god! Oh, yours were from. Oh, it's true. Like when you walked in. Oh,
yeah, it was just. But like I honestly thought it was not gonna happen, and if it did, I thought it was just gonna be like it had to be someone worth it. Where I come out of the house and just like it was worth it.
Right.
You see, so that's what I thought. And shame, he's a very good man. Because even when I came out of the house, he wasn't just like angry or whatever. No, like he just set me down and he just told me like I'm not gonna lie. What you did broke my heart.
Oh,
he was like there are times I couldn't sleep because and I was like, I'm so sorry. And I was like, well, it has happened. It is what it is. We didn't really like break up, but it was clear that we are in two different roles. And I think he had prepared himself for that I'm not going to come out the same person. So even today when I call him, he's just like, King Khosi, not on him.
So it's not like before.
No. We're definitely not together. But he doesn't hold any bad feelings towards me. And he really held me down. Like he did whatever he could to make sure that everything is sorted on my side, like outside of the house. And I think he was one of the few people really at the front row in terms of campaigning for me. Yeah, but he's just a nice person, you know. I usually attract people that like just genuinely a nice person who's just like, just because I did some good for you, that doesn't mean now I need to just like, you know,
keep you in and box you in and not let you go.
He feels that, well, he's never said it, but I know that he feels that I know what he did, and he did it because we were together for a long time, and he saw how much I worked really hard to get like a certain life. Like he knows I'm a hard worker. So for him, he's happy that I'm doing something with my life.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I've spoken about hear this much anyway.
You sound very like mushy, so I can tell that you still have no fun.
Yeah, I mean, when you meet like good people like that, you never know when you're gonna meet a good one like that. Yeah,
You don't think you can still make it work?
that's the thing. I wouldn't want to make it work. Like I don't, because here's the thing. As much as I loved him and he loves me, he still doesn't want to like get married and settle down, which has always been the major issue between us. So it's one of those situations where it's just like,
at some point you'd have to want me because you want to get married and you want to settle down, right?
well, I don't want the option to be taken off
the table.
Yeah.
Right.
See, that I really wanted. Like, it's my priority.
Mm-hmm.
But then when it's like not there, then it's like, I don't know.
That's tough. That's tough.
I know.
I'm sorry.
Stop. I'm sorry.
Okay. You mentioned something while you were talking. I wanted to ask you. You were like, if you did it with someone in the house, then it had to be someone that was worth it, right?
Yeah.
Do you feel like the relationships you had in the house? I think you had two really.
The way she's saying it.
I think you had two major ones.
It matters, but I think you had two major ones.
Two major. Yeah, major.
There were supporting ones. There were also supporting.
Of course, there were supporting ones that I was seeing, but like you had two major ones.
Yeah, I think I had two.
You don't think they were the major ones? Okay.
No, I think I had two. Unless I'm missing something.
I'll tell you what I'm thinking about later.
Okay, right? Because now
there's something that I felt like was there, but it didn't really. Yeah, but I'll tell you.
I can't wait.
Okay, so the two relationships, right? Yeah. Do you feel like they were worth it?
Yeah.
You feel? Yeah. Honestly.
No, honestly.
Great.
I mean, one method or had a greater impact than the other, but I think at the end of the day, they really did work. Like, I know no one likes hearing their name mentioned with the other name, but I don't know how to show that at the end of the day, I appreciate the relationship.
Wait, if I'm getting you correctly, you appreciate the one matters more than the other, right?
I'm saying, I always try to make it clear that, okay, this was nice for this part of my life, or this was nice for this part of my life. But at the end of the day, there's one that had a greater impact on you. Yes.
I'm not gonna ask you, even though my mind is saying ask her, but I know I wouldn't want anybody to ask me.
But do you know? Like, can you
guess?
I
feel like I have an idea.
Can you guess like how you feel? I wanna see which one.
Am I correct?
No, I mean, yeah.
I feel like I'm correct because I could tell.
Well,
I'm correct. Oh, I'm still secretly rooting for that. Just so you know.
It's gonna be a secret forever. I don't care what they do.
Forever and ever. It will never get out.
Thank you. I will try to
promise. Okay. So now we're going to go to the actual topic. So if you remember, I didn't actually mention the topic when we started.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want you to be prepared. So now the topic for today, I just wanted to ask you these questions for the people that might be curious about this. But the topic we're actually talking about today is abortion.
Abortion?
Yes. Khosi, I told you.
Why the hell would we be talking about abortion?
I told you before we started. I was like, should I tell you the topic? You're like, no. Let's just throw it at me. I can handle it.
It's fine. We can talk about
Are you sure you can handle it?
We can talk about
Okay, so we're going to talk about abortion.
Abortion, yes.
First of all, what's your take on abortion? Are you pro-life or pro-choice? Do you know what pro-life or pro-choice means?
I think I have an idea.
Okay.
That one's a tough one.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely for life. Oh, like 100%.
Oh, okay.
Because I believe that everything happens for a reason.
Right.
So then, if you find yourself in that situation and giving to life, maybe that's what's needed at that time, even though you might think that's the worst state, but maybe that's what's needed.
Right. Just for the people that might not understand the meaning of pro-life or pro-choice, so I'm just going to explain. Yeah. So when I say pro-life, what I mean is at all costs, keep the pregnancy, right? No matter the situation, no matter the circumstance, keep the baby. For people that are pro-choice, they're like, you know what? If the circumstances are not like right, or if something is off with this pregnancy and the woman feels like, she can't carry this baby, she should be able to take it out because it's a body. And so that's the meaning of pro-life and pro-choice. So, okay, yeah. So you were saying you're pro-life.
Yes. I mean, at the end of the day, it's your choice.
Right.
But I do believe that everything happens for a reason.
Right. Okay, so for me on this, right, I would say I'm pro-choice, first of all.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, there are certain circumstances or situations that people find themselves in, and it's not easy to keep a baby.
No. That makes a lot of sense. A baby is a lot. It's a lot. I've had pregnancy scare, and it's you start questioning whether you're pro-life.
You're like, oh my God, let this not be true.
Am I really pro-life? Because at this point,
am I sure I don't want to switch?
Let's just say maybe.
I'm telling you, because sometimes it's not even based on the fact that it's not easy to keep a baby. It's even health complications.
Yes.
There's certain ectopic pregnancies, for example. Sometimes they have to take it out. There's certain situations where somebody just has to, or situations where someone gets raped, for example, and they have to take it out. So in that type of situation,
I think that's very different. Yeah, that's very different than me just doing my thing.
And then it just happened.
I'm like, I don't want it. I mean, it's fine. I would never judge someone
that would want to take it.
I actually had a friend who went through that. And I was a virgin. And I was heavy on my spiritual journey. Right. And sometimes I look back and I'm just like, I could have been... I mean, I tried to be supportive. Like, I was really supportive. But I'm pretty sure that she could tell that I wasn't for it. Right. Even though what I said with my mouth was different, but like, I'm sure
your countenance,
because I don't think I was there for her. Because now that I'm a grown up, I'm just like, that was a lot for a 21-year-old. On day 21. Yeah, I think she was 20. No, I think she's like 19.
That's tough.
Yeah. So you can imagine you were a virgin, like you are so far from.
Yeah.
So and then someone says, first they tell you that they no longer a virgin, and then they are pregnant,
right?
And then
they wanted to.
It's
like 3 back to back. Now you're like, wait, let me process this first.
No, I think that's one of the reasons why I ended up losing my virginity. Because I keep seeing I kept seeing like reasons why you shouldn't have sex. But I've told myself that, okay, you know what? No matter what happens in this life, if it happens, it's my own mistake. But like you said, there are certain things that would happen. Yeah, put you in a position where you say, you know what? It's better we go this way, and that's obviously fine. So that's my only thing, that even though I'm pro-life, I'm pro-life for myself, like me. But if somebody else chooses any other way, I don't think it's my place to be preaching pro-life to them.
Right.
This is what I mean. Yeah.
I agree with you. Right. Do you think abortion is murder? Because there are people that say you're killing a child, but that's a life. There are also people that argue that it's not a life yet. It's still a fetus. So, I mean, do you think it's murder? You can think about your.
No, the thing is, honestly, I don't want to be technical about weeks and stuff, but I wouldn't say murder, but it's definitely getting rid of alive. But I wouldn't say it's like, but you're a murderer.
I think it only becomes a human being. Yeah. At a certain point.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So if the abortion happened before that period, is it still considered murder?
I don't think we should. Like,
this is not me arguing for anything.
No,
I'm
no,
not on.
you're
not
doing
on
what
this
you're
side.
supposed to do,
Right.
right? Because then, if we agree, then there'll be no conversation,
Exactly.
right? You're supposed to challenge my
Your
opinion.
opinion.
So, I don't know, but for me, I can only speak for myself that it does feel like that for me. Like, okay, if I'm pregnant right now and I choose not to keep it, it would feel like I've killed someone.
Right.
You know, and I think it just connects with like your beliefs and stuff like that. So as humans, we have different beliefs, and we believe we're connected to different higher powers and stuff like that. And depending on how you choose to live your life, it would mean something different for me.
100%.
It's just one of those things where it really depends on the person. And I don't think I would ever be in an argument with someone about abortion.
Right. Everything you're saying is just your own personal stance.
Yeah.
Like, for yourself, not like to another person.
Yeah.
I get that. Okay. So that means if you think it's murder, you think it's a sin.
Yes.
Great.
Yes.
So do you think
not really a sin, but it's like a rejection of a gift. Even if
do you think everybody considers it a gift?
No.
Okay, a situation where someone has gotten raped and she's found out that she's pregnant. Do you think that woman looks at it, that pregnancy or that baby, like this is a gift?
No, I don't think everyone looks at it.
So do you think that if that woman goes ahead to take out that baby, you think God is going to punish that woman for that? Because that's a sin, right?
Yeah. But what I'm trying to say is that I don't really see it as a sin, but I see it as like rejecting a gift. You see, now this is from where I'm standing. And like you're saying that, what if you've been raped? And then you have this thingy. But what if, I don't want to sound so cliche, like, what if that's the next possibility to you? Doctor. That's what they
or the next serial killer. It can be that too. Because when people say that, they only say the good things.
Yeah.
It can also be the next serial killer.
I don't know, but I've seen how people connect to children, and it literally just changes your life.
Right.
Like if I don't know if you've had a conversation with someone who has been newborn. It's like, they just like, you don't know what love is until you have. But obviously, if you've given birth from a trauma, it might not be the case, or it might take you some time to get there. And that's why I say it really varies depending on the person. Right.
Do you think men should have a say in?
Absolutely not.
Even if the man is the partner.
Hell no.
Even if he's the partner. No. Even if he's the father. Even if there's situations where a boy and a girl are in a loving relationship, but the girl is not just ready for a baby, right? But it has happened and she wants to take it out. Do you think the man has a say?
No, I don't think so. I think you can have a say. Anyone, actually, you're allowed to have a say. Yeah, but the decision lies upon the woman. 100%. So you can have your say, you can do whatever you want to say, you can try and convince her in any way you want, but like the decision, and that could be also getting rid of the baby, like aborting, right? Convincing the lady that you need to abort.
That can be a decision.
Yeah. But I don't think they should have a say in terms of like, okay, you can't abort, or you
have to abort, or
no,
you shouldn't, right? I agree with you 100%. Okay, so for places where it's not legal to like take out a baby, what do you think? Do you think like it should be legalized?
I think it helps when you have an option, right? Because now if you have unwanted pregnancy and you are forced to keep it, that might influence it might, I don't know, I think it makes it worse in terms of you see what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think it's better when there's an option at least, because then you might end up deciding not to.
Yeah, there's still the choice not to take it out.
Yes, I think the choice is very. Yes, I think it's very important to have the choice. Yeah.
Okay, so we don't know. There might be one young girl out there that's is currently in a situation where she's pregnant and she doesn't know if she should take it out or she should keep it. Do you feel like you have any advice for that girl? For someone that is currently in that situation.
First of all, why is she pregnant? And in the full scenario, first of all, why are you spreading your legs? Let's start
It
there.
doesn't always have to be
No, but I'm like,
plus. I mean,
that's what I'm saying.
we're
I
all
need the background
sinners.
story.
We're all sinners, so we're all spreading our legs.
I
at
need.
some point. Are we not all spreading our legs?
Oh
We're all doing
God.
that.
I mean, but that's what I'm trying to say. I need to understand the scenario.
Right.
Was it just okay? I'm just living my best life. Boom, I'm pregnant. Okay, I'm trying to get rid of it. Maybe that's what you need to slow you down. You know,
pregnancy.
Yeah, if you out here just
Leaving your
here's the thing about abortion, especially in like when it happens naturally. Let's forget the other things that could lead up to it, right? Like rape and stuff. Mm-hmm. Let's just talk about normal pregnancy. Mm-hmm. It can always be avoided. Right. So before we start getting to a point where we preach, okay, are you keeping it or not keeping it? Let's just go back. Let's be real. People need to be really mindful when it comes to these things. You need to protect yourself, not only from falling pregnant, but from diseases. You know what I mean? 100%. Having unprotected sex is really like you shouldn't be that brave. I don't know. In South Africa, that's very big. Like they preach, protective sex because we at some point we were leading with HIV and AIDS. Mm-hmm. So.
Oh, really? In South Africa?
South Africa, yes. We were leading with HIV and AIDS at some point. So there's a lot of campaign, like, ain't no way you just out here having
living your best life.
Right. It shocks people. Mm-hmm. Like when someone says they had unprotected sex, it's like a shocker for us. Like, why would you do that? So
think even with like long-term partners, like people that are like in serious relationships, they can't.
No. Listen, unless you guys are testing,
right?
Like you have to be testing. Like we even have home tests. Mm-hmm. Like we don't play in that department. Right. So even with teen pregnancy, that's another gospel they try to preach quite a lot. Mm-hmm. That you need to take care of yourself. You need to understand this and this leads to this. Mm-hmm. And I think that's why we come across as a country that's like a little bit more westernized than the rest of the African countries. These things, they just put it on the table. Like you would learn about these things from lower grades. So you prepare yourself. So I think it's important that we just really spread the message that you cannot just be having sex unprotected. If you want to have sex, okay, I can go crazy, it's fine. But make sure you wrap it up. Mm. You know what I mean? To avoid finding yourself in awkward position where now.
Right. But then, what if she has now found herself in this awkward
position? What would you say? How old is she? Do you want to call her?
Okay.
Maybe call her, find out how old is she.
Okay, let's paint a hypothetical situation. Yeah. She's 18.
She's 18.
She's pregnant.
She's still in school or...
I mean, yeah, she's still
uni or
an 18-year-old being maybe first year in uni.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. That is not great timing at all.
Exactly.
But all our actions have consequences.
Sorry, can you say that again?
Well, our actions have consequences.
100%.
Yes. So maybe this is the break she needs. Go back home. Get back to the baby, nurture it, learn a few things. But I can imagine if I had fallen pregnant my first year, I don't know how I was going to get back from that. It takes a lot to get back. Because, I mean, it will be like a lot.
Getting back is even one thing. Even in that, being in that moment, carrying that pregnancy, having that baby.
See now, that's a thing, right? Because a lot of people have done it.
Yeah.
And a lot have done amazing things. But at the same time, there are those who couldn't come back from it.
Yeah.
Because of the process, as you said. The process will take you through a lot.
Yeah.
And depending on how strong you are when it comes to your mindset, it all boils down to that. Right. You can have that baby and be like, you know what, this is bad. This is the worst decision of my life. But I find myself here. But there's still a whole world that awaits. But there are those who feel like I messed up. Now I have this child.
And sometimes I feel like it even affects the love that that mother has for the child. Because I've seen situations where the mother almost blames the child, which I think is very wrong because it's never the child's fault. It's never the child's fault. But there are situations where those mothers are not even mentally in the right frame of mind. So you can't even blame them too.
No.
Because they're just...
I've actually seen that, and it's like so sad.
Yeah.
Because you just have this baby who has been in this woman's stomach, and they basically, that's all they know, this woman.
Right.
But this one wants nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
I've seen it. I've seen it with like close family members. But there's nothing you can do. Like, they just have to get to the point where they realize it to themselves that he's an innocent child.
Yeah.
And they just want your attention and love, because that's where it stands out. That's where you actually pick it up, because you see a child just longing for mom's love, mom's attention, but mom doesn't have time, always shouting, so impatient with the child. It's so sad, and I think it just breaks my heart.
Right.
And I think then it goes back to the fact that should have just
taken it out. Exactly. That's what I was going to say, because some people would say sometimes it's better to take it out before it becomes like an actual human being, because there are certain people that are not even financially ready for a child. So they bring a child to this world, and that child is suffering. The child cannot feed. The child cannot... Or there are situations where the mother is not even in the right frame of mind. The mother is... Maybe she's still... I don't know... She doesn't have a good life. She's a prostitute. She's on the street. She's hustling. Now she has a baby. She can't look after that child. That child is now, he has to find a way to struggle by himself on the street. And that's not the right, environment to raise a child. Can we still say that this woman should still keep this baby and bring this child? Is it not even doing more harm to that child? Because there's certain people that are fucked up because of the way they grew up.
Yeah. And actually, most people who fucked up,
I'm telling you.
It's because of they didn't know better.
Yeah.
They didn't know better.
Yeah, it's just the cards life just handed to them.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm so sorry, did I cut you?
Yeah, no, go ahead.
That's why a lot of times I see people behave in certain ways, and I make a lot of excuses for people, because I'm a very firm believer you're a product of your environment.
Yes.
How you grew up, your home, your everything around you, everything surrounding like your growing up it plays a very important role in who we become.
The funny thing is, I'm a big fan of crime documentaries. Like, I know people will be thinking I'm out here watching Keeping Up with Kim Kardashian. That's me. I'm
me and you both.
Do
you know Ted Bundy? Do you know Ted Bundy?
How?
He's a serial killer.
Of course.
Oh my goodness. That's what I'm watching.
That's Jeffrey. Oh, Jeffrey went crazy.
Oh, I don't want to start mentioning this because some people might not know this, so let's just not mention the names.
Yeah.
But I really want those things.
Yeah, I'm big on that. So you come across psychopaths that had the perfect family, perfect upbringing, but for some reason they just turned out how they did. Like, you see their parents talking or being part of the documentary, crying, just wondering where did one go wrong. Right. You see the siblings. They perfectly fine, and they talk about their bringing of just how it was literally a normal, everything. You know what I mean? But then those ones are the ones that confuse me. You see what I mean? Because they would have everything. Not even that they're too rich or poor, just middle class, regular
normal life. Yeah.
But then he turned out to be,
something else. But if you look at most of those serial killers, most of them, I'm sure there's some that grew up in normal homes.
Yeah.
But most of them, you see that there's something about their childhood that was not normal.
Yes, that's a common one. That's a common one.
And that's why I always say, for me, I would never preach for abortions and all that. I'm not saying everybody should go around having abortions. No, definitely. And I actually promised myself and God that I will never abort a baby.
Yes.
I'll try my best to never find myself in that situation.
Yes.
But there's certain situations that you find yourself in, and you know that for the sake of that child, especially, it's best to not.
Right.
Yeah, because if everything surrounding the parents is not right, imagine a child being born into a home where the father is just abusive and the mother is maybe a crackhead, and how can I mean there's
I
some children that are
know.
born in those situations and they're able to like
And they still
turn out to
rise
be
above
great,
that.
but
Yeah.
the chances are the slim.
Yeah.
There's always something wrong with that child.
That's true.
Actually.
That's true. So I think then it just boils down to your current situation, the environment.
Yeah.
I think then it's safe to say that it's okay for people to make their own decisions,
100%.
without us, the society, being too judgmental.
Yeah.
Maybe being a little more empathetic and just trying to look at things from other people's perspective before we're, because even after this maybe airs, there's gonna be people just having a lot to say with one sentence that you said about, okay, maybe say I'm pro life or saying I'm pro, you know what I mean? So I think it's just important that to just mention that there's just not we are not here to judge. That's God's job to judge certain things. Choose your way of life and just stick to that.
Right. 100%. So I'll just say this, just to wrap up this episode, I'll say this. First of all, let's close our legs.
Amen.
As much as we can. I mean, and if we, and I understand, like, I'm not, who am I to judge? Who am I to judge?
It's the way you said it. Like, I was like,
let's close
here
our
comes
legs.
some really intellectual stuff.
Let's close our legs. Okay, fine.
Let's keep them closed.
For those of us, I understand that it's not the easiest thing to do to close our legs, but I mean, there's so many ways to protect ourselves. Like there are condoms, there are, birth control. Even though I don't really preach those birth control pills because they have like, I feel like the pills especially, they have adverse effects that don't happen in the moment. They come like later or like years after. So it's a bit tricky. I don't really like those pills.
Yeah,
but
this one is really tricky, right? Because it's nature, I think. That's
you're like messing with like your hormones, and I just say for me, condoms are always the best. But I understand that sometimes the spirit is willing, but the body is like, no. Please just make sure that if you found yourself in this situation and you're already pregnant, make sure that whatever you decide to do is your decision.
Yes, you can live with it.
It's a decision that you can live
with.
You're not going to think about it years later and you hate yourself.
And that's even that we're not just talking about getting rid of the baby and then now you're haunted by the baby. But even keeping the baby, looking at the baby and be like, what the hell was I thinking?
Exactly.
Just make a decision that
make a decision that you can live with and that sits right with your conscience. And you know that, whether you have the baby in your hands tomorrow or not, you're going to be fine with it. That's the only thing I can say, because it's really tricky. You can't really advise somebody on this type of situation. It was so nice having you, Khosi. Thank you so much for coming. And I must say that you're so brilliant, because for you to be able to have like a conversation about this topic, right off the bat,
it's such a sensitive topic. Like you need to be really careful what you say. I was not expecting honestly anything in this world.
Right.
Abortion.
I'm sure you weren't thinking, abortion.
How did you even come up with abortion?
Right. Thank you so much, babe. Thank you.
Pleasure.
So, guys, this episode was sponsored by Correct Bets, the best online betting platform. Make sure you visit their website at www.correctbet.com. And let's bet responsibly, please. Please continue to like, comment, and share every content I put out there. And we're done. Bye, guys.